Today we are going to study the effect of conjugation in dienes and polyenes. So, whenever the wavelength of absorption which is shift towards the higher wavelength, which we consider as a bathochromic shift. So, if two or more chromophoric groups are present in the conjugation, then the molecule which gives us absorption maxima in a longer wavelength or at a particular longer wavelength. So, if we take the example of ethylene and 1,3-butadiene, so the absorption maxima for ethylene is nearly 170 or nanometer. But whenever we are telling the absorption maxima about 1,3-butadiene, so there is a conjugations are there, and that's why the absorption which is shift towards the longer wavelength, and we can find it out lambda max at 217 nanometer. So why this happen or how this happen now can be explained in my lectures. Also we need to learn whenever you use the conjugation what really happen. So now we can understand that with increasing in the extent of conjugation, the bathochromic shift shows a continuous increase or bathochromic shift towards continuous shift towards the longer and longer wavelength, and that means what, greater the number of conjugated bonds in the molecule, greater will be the shift towards the higher wavelength. Now due to conjugation what really happen? The theory behind this is that due to conjugation, delocalization of electrons in the molecule occur. As a result, a new set of molecular orbitals are formed, and thus it lowers the energy gap between HOMO to LUMO, and hence bathochromic shift occurs. In this situation may be illustrated by the above diagram that you can see here, the ethylene and butadiene. It may further mention that the greater number of conjugation, again it will decrease the energy gap. Please see perfectly the energy gap difference between the ethylene and 1,3-butadiene, and that's why the energy gap between these two is in the difference, and that's why you can find it out. If the energy gap is more, then the wavelength is shorter. If energy gap between two HOMO to LUMO which is short, and that's why the wavelength which is shift towards the longer wavelength. So here once you increase the particular double bonds, so delocalization of electron in the molecules occur, as well as the new set of molecular orbitals will form, and once the molecular orbital will form, they have a higher amount of energy, and once they have higher amount of energy, as well as the nodes between the orbitals increases. Now we are going to understand how node will work and which type of particular energy level can be formed whenever you increase the double bond. Understand that there are so many double bonds are there, one in ethene, two double bonds in butadiene, three double bonds in hexatriene, and four double bonds in 1,3,5,7 octatetraene. So once you increase the double bond, we can find out the energy gap between the HOMO to LUMO. So here you can see perfectly that in between HOMO to LUMO, the energy gap is very less once you increase the conjugation, and that's why band which is shift towards the longer wavelength. So now here we can understand why band which is shift towards the longer wavelength, because the energy gap between the HOMO and LUMO which is continuously decrease. This is the first example, that is for electron, that is for ethene, in which you have a 2 pi electron because it has one double bond, and that 2 pi electron we can find out here, and that's why what happened here, constructive approach that we can find it out in the ground state. But once it will migrate to the higher excited state, so what happened, it will give me ABMO or non-constructive approach. Why? Because once you increase the energy, node will be increased, or we can find it out nodal plane, and that's why it gives me ABMO between the 2 pi orbitals. The same theory we can apply for the butadiene. So in the butadiene you can find it out 4 pi orbitals. In these 4 pi orbitals all have bonding molecular orbital all have constructive approach whenever they are or they have lowest energy. But once the energy increase, what happen? Nodal plane increase or nodes between them increase, and that's why ABMO or non-constructive approach we can find it out. So let's try to understand what is node and how it will work. So here you can perfectly see there is a zero node which is lowest energy, and that's why the constructive approach that we can find it out. The second one is one nodes in which we can find it out two constructive approach, one is here and one is here. Once you find it out two nodes, at that time what happened? The constructive approach only we can find it out in this part between C2 and C3, and whenever three nodes are there, there is no constructive approach. That means what? Perfectly it gives me ABMO, or it is highest amount of energy. Now these nodes, how it will work with the molecular orbital energy diagram. So to start with the first example, in which we can consider Psi1 and Psi2, in which what happened? The ground state which does not have any nodes, and that's why it can only form BMO. That means what? Only constructive approach that we can find it out between all the orbitals. So here 3 BMO we can find it out. But once you increase the energy, we can find it out one node, and that's why what happened? We have one node, and that's why what happened? We have only two constructive approach. That means what? 2 BMO and 1 ABMO, and that we can easily find it out here also. Constructive approach, that's why you can find it out double bonds which are present between C1 and C2 and C3 and C4, you can find it out. But whenever it is in the ground state, the particular electronic cloud which is on the whole system. Now if we go for the second, one node is there, now second and third node. So if we go for these, what happened? In the Psi 3 star and Psi 4 star. So Psi 3 star, if we talk, then what happened? The non-constructive approach increases, and that's why we can find it out here. These two are the non-constructive approach, and that's why we can find it out 2 ABMO and only 1 BMO that we can find it out. Only 1 BMO, that means what? Only one constructive approach that we can find it out here. So that's why we can consider this one is a Psi 3 star, or we can consider as a Pi 3 star. Same way, if you go for this, then we can find it out as a perfectly Psi 4 star, because there is no constructive approach. So all these three are perfectly ABMO because there is no constructive approach, and that we can find it out also in this diagram. There is no constructive approach, and here there is a one constructive approach between the C2 and C3 carbon atom. So if I compile all the four diagrams in a one particular part, then we can see here perfectly the one case in which what happened, you can find it out all the constructive approach. In the second case, you can find it out the one non-constructive approach, but two constructive approaches are there. In Psi 3 star and Psi 4 star, there are one BMO but ABMO which is in more number. That means what? Non-constructive approaches are there due to they have higher amount of energy. So if we compile in energy level diagram, then we can easily find it out here that the Psi 1 and Psi 2, which has 4 pi electron, that you can see here, 2 electrons are here and 2 electrons are here, because it is a 1,3 butadiene in which 2 double bonds are there, and that's why 4 pi electrons are there, and those are in the ground state. One is perfectly BMO, that is called constructive approach, and the one is also constructive approach in which BMO is there, but one ABMO or one non-constructive approach is also present. So this is considered as a HOMO, which is considered as a highest occupied molecular energy level, and this one we can consider as a lowest unoccupied molecular orbital, in which number of ABMO or non-constructive approaches are more compared to constructive approaches. That means what? BMO. And that's why the energy level which is decreased here whenever we increase the conjugation, and once the energy level decreases, that means what? Energy inversely proportional to lambda or wavelength, and that's why wavelength must be shift towards the longer wavelength. So we can get shift towards the longer wavelength, that is called bathochromic shift. Now, so this is the particular diagram for each and every molecule in which what happened, the conjugation continuously increase, and that you studied in first or second in first 2 minutes, that why energy decreases when we increase the conjugation. So again you need to remember in this theory one point, that once you increase the conjugation, the delocalization of electron is there. The one is delocalization of electron whenever the conjugation is there, and once the delocalization of electrons are there, that means what? Many molecular orbitals are formed. Once the molecular orbitals are formed, what happened? The energy increase, and that's why the node will be increased, and according to that we can get different energy level. And once the difference energy level between the HOMO to LUMO, if it is a continuously decrease, that means peak or absorption maxima which we get at higher wavelength. Also it gives me high intensity band. In this graph you can perfectly see that for ethene we can get wavelength at 170 nanometer, and the absorption maxima as well as the intensity or molar absorptivity value which is very less, so we cannot get perfectly peak. But once you increase the conjugation in butadiene, we can get shift in a peak at higher wavelength, as well as the intensity also increase. Intensity means what? Molar absorptivity value also increase. The same way if we say about the third example, 135 hexatriene, so here also we can get the conjugation, and that's why what happened? Peak shift towards the longer wavelength, as well as intensity of the peak which is now increase. If you increase again one more conjugation in octatetraene, then also the peak which is shifted means longer wavelength, as well as the intensity also increases. So this is all about the conjugation effect in dienes as well as in polyenes. Now if we talk about the one more example or the most important questions, that in which we can get highest lambda max in cis structures or trans. This one is trans, as trans, and this one is we can consider as cis. So whenever double bonds which are present in the cis, so as we mentioned here that probably repulsion between the terminal lobes of Psi2 increase the energy of HOMO in cis form, and that's why less amount of energy we require for the migration of electron, and that's why the lambda max of cis which is higher compared to trans, because here these two lobes which are very close, and that's why what happened? The delocalization is there, or we can consider the energy increases, and that's why what happened? Here we require the less amount of energy for the migration. Why? Because here repulsion is there. Due to repulsion, what happens? The electrons are not stable, and that's why if you impart the particular electromagnetic radiation on cis part, then what happens? The electron can easily get energy, they can easily get excited, and that's why we require less amount of energy for the excitation, and that's why the gap between the Psi2 to Psi3 star which is very less, and that's why we can get peak or shift towards the longer wavelength. Here one thing we need to mention, that whenever it gives us peak at higher wavelength but the intensity which is lower, but whenever we are talking about the trans, generally peak shift towards the shorter wavelength, and that's why what happened here shorter wavelength, but here the intensity or molar absorptivity value which is slightly higher than the cis part. So this is all about, or this is the one more important question for the exam point of view. So this is all about the conjugation effect of alkenes or dienes and polyenes. Thanks.